Lucy.
Hello.
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 Can you share out those, please?
That's what I'm doing, oh master.
All right, thank you. I'm just waiting for people to start coming in.
No. I'm sharing, Gaffer, sharing.
Huh.
I'm shit.
Oh, there's Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hello.
Nice.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Hey.
Hello, you
How you
big
doing?
hunky specimen.
Hey. What the hell are you doing? You look like a cross between an Ewok and a devil worshipper.
Yeah, it's an Ewok. We'll just take it like that, yeah. An Ewok.
Says the man that's got pubes on his face. Shut it.
Hey.
What, Dan?
Right, no.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
I'm not well. I'm getting a chest, throat infection. So I'm getting my second case of antibiotics.
Everybody's coming down a bit lately. It's that time of year again, isn't it, I guess?
Right.
If you're going to get ill,
So-
you're going to get ill, wouldn't you? That's the problem.
That's it. So I just thought tonight's I'll hide that face of mine. So I came as a devil worshipper.
Where's our supreme leader?
She's going to be a little late, but tonight we're talking about possession.
She's drinking again.
Yeah.
Hey, how you, Rita?
Here.
I said hi.
Oh.
No, but how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, except for my
Hello, Wayne. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well.
left knee is hurting
Hey,
me
man.
instead of my right knee.
So we are talking about possession tonight, yeah? 9/10 law.
Hello, Wayne.
Oh, Wayne.
Hi, bub.
Hello.
Oh, excuse me. I've just Viv gave me some lollipops. But well, she gave the kids some lollipops for Halloween, and I've just finished them off.
Oh.
Right.
So that. So
Well, it seems
that's
to be
me
4 people in
feared
the
that.
chat, but nobody, or 4 people watching, but nobody, apart from Wayne, has said hello.
Yeah.
6 now, and only Wayne said hello. What's going on here? Why don't people want to?
I
Why don't
know.
you want to engage with us?
It's cause
It
I'm
must be
back.
something I said. So possession. Has anybody got? How you doing, Eric? You all right?
Good.
Have we got any ideas about possession? Anybody want to start the ball rolling about possession?
I think it's
I
really
think.
Are you
I think you do. I think you should, Dan.
in the internet.
What, the ball rolling about possession?
Yeah,
I
then.
don't know. I think I don't know, to be honest with you. It's a hard pill to swallow for me. I mean, I understand that some people get
Possessed
by energies or certain energies, negative energies, where maybe the church has to get involved and stuff like that. I understand that. The thing with people I'm very skeptical I'm very skeptical of these mediums and people that get possessed when they're on investigations with you.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'll call that out for what I think it is, and I think it's bollocks. I think it's absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
I think they get swept away in the whole drama of a situation, and I think they feed themselves into it, you know. And I don't know whether they believe they're getting possessed or whether it's just something that they do because they want attention. I don't really know, but I just think it's bollocks.
Well, and then you got to remember there's a difference between possession and an attachment.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. An attachment. I think people can have attachments. I think that's a credible thing. I think
that attachment is a different to possession, isn't it? Because attachment is where someone is attached to a person or spirit, but a possession is where they kind of own you If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
they try and
Do you know what I mean?
No,
They try and control you in
Yeah.
such a way that you believe that it's there. Do you know?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I mean, it puts me off when you go on investigations. You see people getting possessed on investigation. To be honest,
to be honest,
pisses me off.
like Dan, I'm skeptical in the whole possession, but it doesn't help when you have this is everybody's favourite guy, Zach Baggins. Everything's demons. Everything is this. Everything's that. And as Dan says, and then you've got to look at the. I don't know what their name would be for in America, right? But the ones that kid on their healing people, and they're healing possessions, like demon possessions.
I know what you mean.
That,
The preachers.
Obviously, they're making money and things. The one thing that really came up for me recently, or it was last year or something, but I won't mention where I seen it or that, but there was one over in America where they were doing a possession on I think it was either a 8-year-old or a 10-year-old child, and I just think that's morally so wrong. I think it's really, really bad. Adults, yes, but if it's going to be done on children, no.
No, and I think the thing that annoys me is, we were adamant before, if people said that they thought they'd have a possession or they thought they were being controlled by a particular energy, then what we would do, before we did an investigation on their property or an investigation even on them, we would make sure that every avenue had been explored. Right, and as unfortunate as it is, and sometimes people used to find it insulting, but we had to do it to get to the bottom of it, even people with mental health issues. So we'd have to ask them what medication they were on, because some medication can cause hallucinations, they can cause all sorts of problems. Mixtures of medications can cause problems. As I say, mental health can cause problems. So you got to find, because you don't know what you're dealing with, and if you don't, you can make a bad situation even worse.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, full possessions, I think, are so rare. So rare.
And like you said, you got to have mental health, what type of prescriptions, what's the family situation, everything. Before you even decide whether or not they're possessed or not.
Yeah, you have to go through it. I mean, I used to always say to people, have you had any kind of psychiatric treatment? And maybe that's a way to go and see your doctor before we do anything with you.
Yeah.
Because we can't work on the basis that it could be, you can cause all sorts of problems for people if you're dealing with an issue that's mental health, but you're dealing with it like it's a spiritual problem. You can cause all sorts of problems for them.
But many people do. Not many people do that, even when they're doing house investigations. It's very rare that you actually hear of someone actually doing the paperwork. What meds are you on? What meds are you on? What's your mental health like? You don't hear many of that. Nobody wants to do that. Hi, Mark.
Why is there no volume coming out of this?
I don't know.
Hey, we can hear you, mate.
Hang on a
That's
second.
because you're baldy and specky.
Why is there?
You're full of it tonight, aren't you, Ginger?
That's because I've missed you, so.
It's like speaking to the fucking Misterons trying to speak to Lois. All you've got is like a light moving about.
Yeah, no. It's like, Oracle Lois. What?
Just 2 seconds.
That's what I put in the kitchen.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand Scottish. All I heard was haggis.
Do you know what?
I've got my DNA back, didn't I? I'm bloody 3% Scottish.
I'm going to be very, very polite to that specky, baldy, English fuckface up this side.
Dan,
sorry, wrong way.
Mark.
That side.
It's going to go at you, Mark.
Careful.
I don't understand the words coming out of her mouth, so it's all right.
That's right, Mark. I'll translate.
How are you, William? Hope you're doing well. Are you, Terry? Yeah, I got my DNA back this week. I'm 3% Scottish.
Well, all I can hear is hit, and it's like
You what? I see you.
I'm not going to speak to you. You love it when I say aliens. The way I say aliens.
What?
It's like something about leans. I don't know.
I think it's what 7:10, Loaf. That's what you asked.
Love it when you talk dirty, Lewis. It's okay, Terry. I'll be your DMs.
Hang on.
Something about
Right, come say hello. Look, there you go.
hey, Ghosty Wolfie.
Ghosty.
Ghosty Wolfie.
Aww. Do you know something? I like that Doug more than I like Mark.
And Lilo's over there as well. So what are we talking about tonight? Are we talking about these fake
Possession.
Just possessions, I think, in general.
Possessions, yeah.
Yeah. Do you reckon a lot of possessions are mental health?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
Some of it, I do, yes.
I think that some of it's mental health. Quite a lot of it, I think, is people trying to be either. I think people getting carried away with the drama of a situation on an investigation, and I also think that a lot of it is want to be noticed.
Yeah.
You know.
Mhm.
You know. I think
Have
a
you
lot of
watched
that.
King's
Same with,
Exorcist?
and I
No,
think
Pope's
that's very similar to mediums, which is why when you go on an investigation out of 30 people, 29 of them are mediums. They'll you know what I mean? It's like, it's somebody else, so it's not a medium.
I tell you what, and you'll probably agree with this. I can count on one hand the amount of people that I can say I've really got a gift. Because I'm not going to mention names, but I've had people who were supposed to be mediums coming up to me and telling me all about my little boy that died, and this, that, and the other, and how he used to go on a climbing frame, and this, and it was like he took his own life the week before he was 15. He wasn't a little boy. He didn't go on climbing frames. He was a BMX
young man. Yeah.
You know, and it's just like I look at them and I'm like,
I'm gonna punch in the face.
I tell you, man, the amount of times that I've had mediums come up to me, you've had it yourself, Mark, and you probably had it as well. They give you something, you go, no, and then they go, well, go away and ask somebody.
Hey, Andy.
Hey, Andy.
It's like, no,
Andy.
fucking don't ask people. You know, hi, Andy.
But see,
I
the
can
problem
remember.
is, right? Sorry, when you go, Mark.
oh no, I was only going to say I can remember a certain famous show that had a medium on it that would get possessed.
Oh, yeah. I
Mm.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen because I'm not an expert, but I think that the chance of it happening is very remote. You know,
and a true possession is something that takes over your life completely. You know, you're angry all the time, depressed all the time. You know, I do.
hello, Viv.
Professor McGonagall. Mr. Potter.
Sorry, I was just seeing what that was saying.
Hi, Vivian.
Shut up, you.
Huh?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Jay. Hi, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
But see, the problem is there's people out there that are.
Oh, sorry, I did.
Hey, lovey.
How you
No,
feeling?
you're alright, love.
Hiya, Nicola.
Just still like shit. I'm on my second case of antibiotics. I have to start this week
The only
for another week.
What was that? Something about sandwiches? What?
Cheese sandwiches, I think that was.
Oh,
haddock sandwiches, I think.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
how's those crabs, Daniel?
I have no idea. I have no idea you're on about.
Dick.
Lynn.
Hiya, Lynn.
Hey, Lynn. But the problem is, people cry on the vulnerable, and people are daft enough to believe. And if somebody dies, right, that means the world to you, right? People could be grief either way, and there's people out there that will hang on every word of MD's thingy. the same as MD that suffers mental health. There's people out there that, like myself, right, that would love to wake up one day and I'm fine and I just don't have to deal with it anymore. But there's people out there that if you went to them and said, I could cure your mental health by doing this possession, but you need to pay XYZ, people are daft enough that they're going to pay that money so that they could get cured.
Exactly.
Well, think they're getting cured.
The amount of possessions per capita, the place that's got the worst the worst hits of possession is actually Africa, Central Africa, Congo, and that lot. And they go to see the local
witch doctor,
medicine man, and and he deals with it, and they do it in some quite brutal ways, way worse than the Catholic Church. But that's the worst place at the moment for possessions and places is Africa.
Doesn't places like Africa though, they, as part of their religion, they welcome in their ancestors, and when you look at the witch doctors, possession is all part of that thing, because what they're doing is they're bringing in the ancestor and it's entering their body, and then they're healing whatever they're doing using chickens and blood and God knows what else.
Oh, that's what they're doing, voodoo or hoodoo.
Yeah, and then once that's done, they retract, and then the thing is supposed to, the ancestor or whatever is supposed to leave their body. But how do they know that it does? This is the thing. I don't understand. This is me. I don't understand it, but it is a form of possession.
But then you know what? A lot of those African tribes also use things like, they use things like voodoo, like zombification and stuff like that, which is clearly bollocks. It's like herbs and stuff that they use that put people into a certain stasis, and it's mind control. And I'm not saying that you can't, but I'm just saying overall, it's just, it's not real. It's just a way of manipulating people's minds.
Could you leave the laptop alone, please, Kat? Thank you.
Oh,
puss. Sorry.
It's like anything. The religions, all right across the board, whether it's voodoo, whether it's Catholicism, Church of England, whatever it is, it's a very strong drug, isn't it?
Yeah.
We spoke about this on the show last night. Do you know that the CIA and the Vatican have a copy of the Vatican scroll that says that religion was started by our brothers and sisters from different planets as a way of explaining brothers and sisters from other planets and controlling the masses? And it said, it's said, we were talking about it, Jesus and Muhammad and all that lot. This is not my opinion, so just calm it. But this, according to the scrolls, they were saying that these guys were actually hybrids that have been gene manipulated and then put in vitro into the hosts, and then they'd come out, and that's why they could control so many people, and they could spread the word and got so many followers and stuff. It was because of all the gene manipulation and the fact that they are hybrids and they could do lots of stuff. So, and it was all to convince that religion's real.
But you know what? I think all religions are a form of a cult because they put somebody at the top, and it's that person that has
a cult or
a cult. A cult. A cult. But it doesn't matter what religion you're following. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay, there's always somebody, the leader at the top, that governs and controls all the little fractions of, if you like, and depending on how big your religion is. And I'll just take, I don't know, Catholicism, being a Catholic as a result, as an example, because it's quite an old religion. And then you've got whole countries being that religion, and anybody else that is there with a different religion is persecuted.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It is. But when you bring it back to possession, I have seen, when I was in India, I had seen what I was led to believe was a possessed boy, which was very freaky deaky, and I kid you not, I did shit my pants.
Yeah,
Nicola.
But to be honest, when you have mediums, now I'm bringing it back just to normal.
What about? I'm an XL, so is that okay?
So these mediums, that practice trans mediumship. Okay, now there's a very, very good medium that Dan and I know called Elaine Thorpe.
Sorry.
Lovely.
Long button
Does-
flying out the screen.
She's
She
lovely.
does trans mediumship, but people don't realise that is a form of possession because she's moving out, something else is coming in, using this, whole features, everything changes. When they're finished, they move back, she comes back in. Now, what if that particular spirit, I'm not saying her own guide, this is just an example, does not want to leave, not her guide, she will then remain possessed, and then problems start. You know, so does possession really exist? Yes, I think it does.
I think possession does exist.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
Sometimes, because I mean, it could be the weekend, and me and the missus could go to bed, and I'll just look under the duvet, and something possesses me. I don't know what it is. Something does.
Yeah, but that mental health. I'm not saying you're mental, well, you might be.
Well,
I know Jay is. I know Jay is, and so's Eric. But mental health,
We're not right, are we?
mental health should not be confused with possession and other normal ailments
No,
like
exactly.
epilepsy and
Mhm.
those other ailments that can look like you are possessed and you're actually not. It's a natural process your body is going through because you have that particular ailment.
Yep.
That should not be confused with possession. Possession is something else. And these people, and I'm going to get on my high horse now. Sorry, guys. These people that go
Okay.
on investigations,
Sing it,
get taken
sister.
over by spirit. I don't
Already
like
done
this.
that,
Oh, I'm possessed. Oh, I'm
Already done it.
possessed. Yeah, no. Piss off. No,
It's a load
you're
of
not.
bollocks.
Yeah, and and you know what? I hope to God you never get possessed because that would be the real start of your problems.
You know what else gets on my nipples is when you get the likes of Zach Baggins going, "Demons!
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like
Demons!"
when Zach Baggins is just that. I can't stand that guy. Everything's demons.
Yep.
Lois, come put yourself on camera because
I've just eaten.
all we can hear is coughing, sneezing, spluttering, and we're trying to put the haggis McHaggis, but we can't see the lips moving. So if we put that with the lips moving, we'll be able to understand a lot of it.
That was just a thought.
Do you know what? I just don't like any. Well, I love Viv. I like Eric. I like Parker. But those two wankers at the top of the screen, well, I just do not like them.
Just look, just come onto the camera. Let us see you. Come on.
Oh, bless
Take that
her.
off your face or something to that.
She looks
Right,
fine.
there you
Feel
go.
rough. No, look
Yeah.
rough.
See, that's better now. When you move, when you talk, we can see your lips moving, and we can sort of understand it a lot more. I said, instead of hearing
Mark
Snickers,
is a wanker.
You know that you had your DNA. You know I had my DNA done this week.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know you're Scottish, Lo.
Forget
Guess
how-
what?
Yeah, it's right.
Lois,
Yeah.
can you hear me? Do you know you're Scottish? How would you like a little bit more
Like,
Scottish?
yeah.
Well,
What are you doing?
Gonna get his kilt out.
I'm Scottish.
Oh,
part
please don't, because I'll end up pass me the sick bag.
Scottish.
Actually, one half of my
Right,
family is
it does
Scottish.
vibrate.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what I believe, Andy. I believe
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
Everything
certain
vibrates.
Thomas things vibrate as
Even
well.
my pen vibrates.
Everything
Even my
vibrates.
camera vibrates. The table.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Are these
table
things that you
I'm
take with you
sitting
on the investigations, Viv?
What, a pen?
The
My
pen and
table.
the camera. Is it because it gets cold and lonely sometimes? Is that what it is?
No.
That's why I don't believe it. I don't believe in the reality. What we think we see in a reality is not a reality. What
Yeah.
we see is a perception.
Here's a
It's all
stupid bit of
vibration.
information for you. Whilst I remember, do you know why buzzy things were first invented? And this is all to do with what you're talking about.
Go on.
Right, and this is I'm actually serious. This isn't a joke.
To
I'm
scare
over
the
barrage of
bejesus
filth.
out of the thing that's possessing you.
Almost vibrators were originally invented by male doctors to use on women at the end of the Victorian era, turn of the 19th century, for women who had hysteria, because they believed that women who had hysteria were also being possessed as well. So their way of thinking was whoop whoop woof and cause orgasm, and that would make them go, oh, I'm back in the room. But what they didn't realize was, once the word got around that these things were invented, the influx of women with sudden cases of hysteria being able to get to the doctor's mind, even though they had hysteria, went up like 1,000-fold. So they had all these women queuing up, and there was all these horny goatweed doctors. They go, "Oh, step in here, my dear."
Even pre that, a form of torture, not in England so much, but on the continent, they had a form of torture that was used, and the instrument that was inserted to the woman was called the pear. They did put it in the men's behind.
Yeah, up the bum. And they wound it open, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you know what? I remember reading something about probably a couple of years ago now, actually, and it was it's amazing, isn't it? When you read about these cures that they have for things, all of a sudden they go, "Yeah, we've had this, we have like 100% success rate," and all of a sudden you don't hear about it anymore. And they had one that they used it was a cancer, and they tested it on people with tumours, and what they did is they used sound. So they used sound, like singing bowls.
Yeah.
It's meant to vibrate with the sound of the universe, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And they used that. And what they did is they used the sound. It was like a sound waves that they directed straight onto the tumour, and the tumour shrunk and just disappeared. And they'd had 100% success rate to that point with it, and then all of a sudden, you never heard of it again.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, obviously, my idea is, or my thoughts behind that is because you're looking at the pharmaceutical manufacturers that stand to lose a fucking fortune on it.
Yeah. It all comes down to money.
But the idea, one thing that really got me was these were ancient cures that people have known about for millennia.
Yeah.
And then we've been taking down a different route saying, oh, well, you can use this and you can use that. I mean, it's not with medication, they say, that Dara O'Brien says something about, people use what do you call it? Medication that's not medication. It is the medication. It's
placebo.
Not placebo, where you like plants and stuff. What do they call it?
Herbs?
What do they call it? There's a name for it, and they're medicine.
I know what you mean. That's a word.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but
Vegans!
But the thing is,
thinly on toast.
Exactly. But the thing is, it was like he said, oh, they've got a word for the medicine now. It's called medicine, and the stuff they threw out was the plants. And you think, no, that's absolutely wrong, because the medicine that we got today is a derivative of a lot of those plants. So we're still using those. It is like a herbal medicine, exactly. No, it's not. It's a what do they call it? Homeopathic medicines. And and you
homeopathic.
But the medicine we got today a lot of it is chemical, but the chemicals are derivatives from a lot of the.
Be back in 2 minutes, guys.
All right.
I take dandelion root extract.
Yeah, exactly.
It keeps my cancer away.
So do you think some of these herbs and things that we don't use there, maybe they do in third world countries, also bring on this state or this state where people believe to be possessed or
it's called
you got magic mushrooms, which you get DMT, don't you, from? And that gives you the illusion or the idea that, I don't think it's an illusion. I think what you're doing is you're actually entering a spiritual realm. So a lot of people
it opens up clockwork,
they deal with
like CBD oil as well, of cannabis, isn't it?
They deal with all sorts of things. But the thing is, the really weird thing is that a lot of the patterns that people experience are represented. Yeah,
it's dogs.
I use it for putting it down the tongue, but a lot of it is derivative. A lot of it.
What did you use it for?
Yeah, it opens up. I think it opens up a different dimension.
Here we go.
Hi, Rigger.
Hi, Rigger.
That's why he's hiding.
But yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for these.
Well, going back on the
homeopathic. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric.
Well, going back on the medical thing, they use ultrasound to break up kidney stones.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the DMT is something the body creates naturally anyway. Your body has got DMT in it. But when you eat these particular mushrooms, then what it does is it increases the levels.
Yeah.
And they said, didn't they? Done a thing. Just another thing they did with depression. They did microdosing for people, and they had another 100% success rate with mental health and microdosing with the derivatives of these magic mushrooms. Yeah, exactly.
I'll let you into
depends on
the
the mushroom
story.
and the amount you take, I think, Annette, to be honest. But these microdosing has actually brought people back from the brink of suicidal thoughts and all sorts of things. And it's more or less quantitatively cured them. But
Well, LSD was invented to cure PTSD.
They stopped trials.
I've got a little story about LSD.
Is it dangerous? Is that not dangerous? Because unless it's controlled properly, I know somebody that died as a result of taking mushrooms over a long period of time.
The medical board had actually prescribed them these dosages of this particular dosage of this mushroom. So they microdosed it, and it's healthy. It's no different than overdosing on any drug that a doctor will give you, really. So long as they give you a specified amount to take and like a time frame to take it in.
Is it true? Is it highly addictive though? Is it something a bit like crack?
Probably.
But all drugs are, aren't they?
Probably. You get that hit.
The amount of people that die on over-the-counter medical because they get addicted to like Fenzix or paracetamol or whatever.
I don't want to take crack.
Okay, so here's a question.
Most of the crack smells bad, doesn't it?
For Parker.
Smells like shit.
Have you known or had you looked up on history for known people reportedly possessed being banged up in prison? And how has the prison service, in your knowledge, looked after them or take what have they done with this possessed person in prison? Because you hear of them committing the murders. I was possessed.
Yeah.
Have you looked into that? Is that something you've?
I've read some cases in America, because you find it more in America than you do it over here. So in some American states, they will take it a bit different. So you've gone on a massive mass kill, or you possess someone, or you've killed them because you possessed. What they won't they'll put you in jail, and they will trial you as a normal human being. But once you've been trialed and gave your sentence, then they'll put you in a mental asylum, because they can't deal. They don't know. Same what we're talking about. They don't know if he's lying about it, lying on his mental health, or pretending that he's possessed, because they don't know. The police don't know. The forensics, they don't know about it, because he's done everything that someone, if they're going on a mass kill, they would do what they would do, if that makes sense. But so normally, because obviously different justice system in the UK and America.
They go to Broadmoor if they're like that over here.
Yeah. So talking about obviously Broadmoor, yes, it is a state. It is a prison, but it's classed as a hospital. So if you get a case,
the Amityville Horror, the guy just went and shot his family and blamed it on the ghost. Then went to prison. I think he got life, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then it all came out years later.
Well, you get life for doing what you do, but you're put in a mental high security prison for mental patients.
So in the UK, you obviously get your Cat A up to Cat D. So the higher the rating is A.
I've got Cat C lying down here.
I've got Cat J downstairs.
So
go stop
the higher the category, the higher risk you are as a person.
But does it annoy you when Hollywood pick up the story, and I'm going to mention their names, I don't care, the Warrens, that played off that poor family's memory, pretended it was this, that, and the other? Because I'm sorry, you can't go in after the fact and say. You can't go in after the fact and say, oh, yeah, it's the devil, he was possessed and all this sort of thing. They're nowhere near qualified.
No.
And then for him to come out all those years later to say, yeah, I made it all up. And he's admitted it.
So what they will still get charged, they will still get, obviously, the first degree of murder. and then they'll still get charged, whatever state they're in or wherever they are. They'll how many counts of murder they've done. So what they will do, they will put them, obviously they'll go on trial, and then they'll get the psychotic doctors in and like really intelligent guys like who work on mental health, and then they will decide if they'll put him on loads of like machines and stuff to see if he's lying. And then they'll take all that information and then they'll go back to the court, and then the court will decide, go through jury and everything, if he is willing, if he's worth going into a high category jail, or if he'll go in a mental institute in the States. So it kind of works in both ways, because yet again, we don't understand if you're possessed. So if you're going to go to a court, I didn't mean to do it because I was possessed. You're lying because I don't know, or you're not telling the truth.
It's a get out clause, isn't it? They're
so
trying
it's
to
kind
get
of
out of it. Like,
yeah.
That's
But
why
what if that person? But what if that person was telling the truth? Because look at the case in Scotland, as I was saying to Viv, about the guy that threw his child over the right side of that bridge, but it's known as dog suicide, and it does end up like when you read the backstory, all the dogs jump off the right side of the bridge.
That's right. Yeah.
So what happens, right? In reality, mind you would then have a lot of people that would start saying that they were possessed when they were doing crimes.
So then they would have to bring a high team in to like work with that. So with people with mental health, they will bring this. I can't say their name. The psychotic. It's the what are they called?
Psychoanalyst.
That's it. They'll bring these guys in and they'll analyze the prisoner, and then they would analyze what he's done, and then they'll do all the tests to say yes, he is mental.
That's a new thing, this psychoanalogy and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
so go back a few years when people were doing exactly the same, when you didn't have psychoanalysts around or psychiatry
so they'll just be classed as a high risk prisoner, and they'll just put in prison, and it's only the research that I've done that obviously different states different, and the UK have got a different parole and stuff as what the Americans have. You kill someone, you're going to get with life without parole. Someone gets killed over here, it's either attempted murder or murder, but they get 12 years instead of life without parole. So it's kind of different of so they get like two different types of different.
We'll pop the power cable back in, shall we go?
What were you saying, Mark? Sorry.
What Andy said about schizophrenics and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting question.
I can give you an example. I won't say who. I think Viv and Dan will know. But one of my family members suffers from psychosis, and very often has bouts of psychosis, and is also suffering from DPD, not DPD. That's a parcel delivery.
BPD.
BPD, borderline personality disorder, and they also have 4 personalities. Now, they've said to me that because this person is actually gifted, and so's their sister, but this particular one has said that sometimes the things they see are so horrific, like people with faces burning and skin peeling off and everything, that they don't know if it's their psychosis or if it's a gift. And since they take their medicine, it quietens down what they see. So they're never sure whether it's the
reality or
if it's psychosis.
So I'm going to answer Andy's question.
That is interesting.
I'm going to answer Andy's
Right,
question.
guys,
So,
I'm going to head off because I'm still coughing and I can feel myself going to cough there. I don't want to be sitting coughing on the live. But I'll catch up with you soon.
Love you,
see you
loads.
later,
Take it
Lo.
Love you loads.
Which
Bye.
one?
So I'm going to answer Andy's question, right? So I've been a medium. I'm a natural medium. It's not been coaxed out of me. I've been seeing this as a child.
I thought you were a slim.
Feel, and I'm also a trance medium. And when he said, do we suffer with mild schizophrenia or just sufferers of schizophrenia simply hear spirits only amplified? Well, my next door neighbour that I lived next door to him for 30 years, and he was a paranoid schizophrenic of a very high level. Like, it was terrible. So, in answer to the medium side of things, I've never been diagnosed with schizophrenia of any sort. I do not go into psychosis or suffer any attacks or anything like that. I do go into trance, not trance mediumship, but I go into trance where I am listening, watching, hearing, and waiting, and learning, and shitting myself sometimes. I'm not gonna glorify this because it is scary at times. You don't know what you're seeing. You don't understand it. It depends how they want to show and reveal certain things to you. So it's not so straightforward. Sometimes, yes, I do see bad stuff. I've been on platform in a church and I saw the aftermath of a very, very grisly murder and had to tell the person that I was reading for, this is what I'm seeing. And I had to explain it all as I was told it. And then it came out why I was seeing it. It wasn't for me to know. It was for the person I was giving the message to. So, yes, you do see some real bad shit. I've been on a platform and had spirit that have come in that have snarled and growled and blasphemed so badly and sworn so much that I felt embarrassed to repeat what was being told. That doesn't mean that I've got schizophrenia necessarily, and it doesn't mean that the spirit had schizophrenia necessarily. It means if I gave that to the reader would understand it. And when I said to the reader, is effing and jeffing over here, and every other word is F and B. Oh yeah, I know who you. Do you know what I mean? So it's not necessarily for me. When I talk about the schizophrenic that I live next door, they have a trigger. He had a trigger, and his trigger was his bathroom mirror. So if he looked in the bathroom mirror for too long, that was it. His personality would change. He'd growl and snarl, and all of a sudden he'd get something into his head. Now, I lived next door to him for 30 years. I happened to walk past his house very upset one day because Andy pissed me off. And didn't realise that Dave was having an attack. And he lost his shit because I said, he said, why are you crying? I said, Andy's upset me. That was it. Let me find an axe. I'll fucking kill him. I'll kill him. And he was going through his shed looking for an axe. Now, had there been an axe in that shed, because he was so focused on getting an axe, he would have gone after Andy, and I dread to think what would have happened. Yeah. But they are able to be talked down if you're giving them the tools to do so, which my next door neighbour's wife had the tools to talk him down. In the end, I think they removed the bathroom mirror from the unit, so it didn't set him off. But yeah, he's kicked in television sets, and it's not because he was being told to do it. His whole personality changed, and it's quite terrifying when you see a schizophrenic going full attack like that. It's not something that you could say, oh, spirit's doing that. I don't think that is, and I don't think that's right. Not at all.
No. It's like that family member says, when they see that stuff, they're just not sure. They don't know. Is it that or is it that? But when their sister sees and hears things, they don't see horrific stuff, but they are able to come into a place and go, oh, that's there. Oh, there's somebody. And it's very, the difference between real ones and fake ones. The fake ones embellish and talk bollocks, and they do cold reading and
yeah.
right? And then this particular one just comes in, and they're very matter of fact. They go, oh well, that's there, and don't worry about him. He's just curious, and blah 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 blah. Viv knows who I'm talking about. Dan knows who I'm talking about. But because we're on air, I'm not going to say. But
No.
But
Yeah.
And to test it, I took this person to where I used to work because I knew that this particular warehouse I worked in did have things in it. Never said a word to this person, and they came in with me, and they straight away, when I took them into the main bit where it was all going on, went, oh, such and such and such, and that person used to be over there, and that office that's there wasn't that, it was this and it was that. He's telling me all about it, and I knew all this stuff, and I'm like, so
No, it's true.
So most people with autism are said to be open-minded to the spiritual world. Yes, and they're
That wouldn't
also more
surprise me.
focused and driven, aren't they, Dan?
Yeah. I mean, I think every autistic
they get
person I've met,
fixated
to a
on
man
a
or a
particular
woman,
thing.
have been so intelligent.
Yeah.
So intelligent. Like, leave me standing. Like, it's like, whoa, it's amazing. It's amazing, really.
Yeah, it is hard, Nicola, but I think she got training, and over years, it took her years to learn it.
Well,
The thing
get this
with-
one.
Sorry, Eric, go on.
Oh, when I was real young, my parents were told that I had a borderline personality disorder. So I don't know why, but
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? I think the thing with mental health and stuff like that and illnesses is that they're so convoluted and intricate that an illness can show exactly the same format as a different illness, but be a different illness. So you can see somebody they're showing signs of this particular illness, but it could be one of 10 different mental illnesses. So it's really hard. It must take years to try and trudge through all of the crap to get to the point where they can hopefully nail it down to one particular problem, which is why I guess these assessments take so long.
Do you think possession? Says possession. Do you think possession could be partly mentally?
The only one that threw me, there was one in America some years back, and the guy he carried out this murder. He murdered about 3 people, and it was over the course of a night, and they arrested him. And he said to them, "Look, you don't know who I am. I'm not who you think I am. I'm something entirely different." And they're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay, we're fine. And a lot of the cops, even though they arrested him, they were a little bit reluctant to go near him because they could sense that there was something not quite right, but they didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So they put this guy in a cell, and he made it rain in the cell.
What?
He made it rain in the cell. And you've got the police now. I mean, they're on record. The cops are on record saying, we didn't want to go in there, but we had to go in there. And he just made it rain inside the cell, nowhere else in the prison block, just inside this cell. And I don't know what they did with him in the end, but they said that they were reluctant they kind of took him at his word, but they knew there was something not right with him because even though they're used to dealing with all sorts of situations, really dicey situations and really dodgy people, but this one particular guy, they treated him like he was a normal lunatic, but they knew that there was something. There was something beyond that.
Wasn't there a film made about that?
Sorry,
wasn't there a film made about that? I'm sure.
There's a couple of documentaries. When I say documentaries, there's bits of information on the internet about it, and it happened it was down south, I think, in the States somewhere.
Massachusetts, I'm going to say.
I can't remember where it was.
Around,
Alabama or somewhere. I'm not
Mississippi,
sure where it was.
that area, isn't it? Like, it's down south anyway.
Like they said, he made it rain inside the cell, and they'd never seen anything like it. And you've got lots of police coming out with I mean, particularly in places like like the Philippines and India and places like that, where they're going to these homes that are genuinely haunted. You can see it's like proper police officers.
Some of those things in Asia are messed up.
Yeah.
But don't forget, they've got different laws out there as well, like in the Saudi states, that people say to me, they're harsh, they're barbaric, but they've been doing that for a long time, hundreds of years before we even arrived, those rules and stipulations have been put into place, and some of the oldest religions come from there. But what I'm trying to say is, they don't suffer. They don't suffer fools gladly. So if you're possessed, you'll get tried. They can't be bothered to deal with you, so you're found guilty, put to death, and they do away with you without
job done,
ceremony. Job done, And people are too scared then to come out of the woodwork and say the same things, or they'll think twice of committing those same crimes. So it sounds barbaric, but yes, it does serve a purpose. You don't hear of the possessions out there anymore.
One of my favourites, William.
In the Middle East, though, in the Arab states, if they do believe that jinns are responsible for a lot of the possessions and a lot of the mischief that goes on, don't they? They blame it all on jinns.
The jinn is a
they're
very
a different thing
ancient
altogether,
spirit.
man.
Yeah, it's a completely different thing.
They're a different thing altogether.
But it's not like America, where everyone in America is being possessed, and that is bleeding out through to the UK. And I'm fed up of seeing people that claim to be possessed that are not. I blame the Americans for it, and Hollywood.
You know, when you see it on the TV, you see it on the TV, and they're going, "Oh my God, look!" And this person's doing that, and then they go, "This person has been healed by the power of Jesus." You know,
give me $100. Give me $100.
Every place they go, someone's flipping well possessed, so they do that, and they go, "Ring this toll-free number, donate to the church," and these guys are just. And they get all their sycophants, and
it's a brainwashing, though. It's a brainwashing.
But they're the same people that go, "I got myself sexually molested by an alien last night on the farm." Oh, sorry.
Well, I was in the woods one day, and I said, this little green man, he came up behind me. He said, "Hi, my name is Doc Brown," and he just shafted me right up.
But me and Billy Bob here, we got butt fucked all night.
I stood in front of him and said, "Hell no, let's make a spit roast." I don't know what he meant.
I said to little green man, "I want some of that barbecue."
All I could hear was balls slapping in the wind.
He had little green thing.
It matched the size of his body.
Penis.
Oh, you want to see my?
But the thing is, these people.
See my balls.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, nice.
It's got an alien ball.
He's got his balls out.
That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for my balls to come in the mail.
There's some very questionable accents. Yeah, very questionable Andy.
Somewhere there's a donkey going, "What the hell?"
Ooh. But they're multi-millionaires, and their revenue is billions. It's turning into the billions, where people just rely on them, and they give the majority of their wages to them, because the brainwashing is so intense. It's ridiculous.
More than that,
really
all their money sometimes.
They do, yeah. Have you seen those preachers online? One of them, he looks proper nasty.
There's been loads of cases, haven't they, of American preachers and evangelists like getting done because they've been doing cults, and they are cults with a different spelling, and they've been getting all these people, drugs, pregnancy, weapons, and it's.
I heard one of them. He said, "They said, why have you got a private jet?" He said, "Well, Jesus said to me that a man of my caliber can't travel in a metal tube with all the demons." That's what you're calling you're calling everybody a demon. Right, so he said, there I was. He went, I was up in the sky. He went 25,000 feet. He said, I went to the toilet and it was a bit tight. He went, and Jesus said to me, "A man of your caliber needs a bigger plane." Fucking arsehole.
The only demons that come out of a plane is when you land and they open the door and all the gas of 1,000 farts comes out. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like this is that in itself is a disease that is spreading, and it's spreading since the birth of the internet, YouTube, all the rest of it. And people they just want to get rich quick. Now Zach Bagans, love him or hate him, he's used that as a ploy to market his shows and make money, and he's a very good businessman at it. The same as these evangelists. They do it. It's exactly the same, but in a different way.
Like Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, yeah.
I just love Ric Flair.
Howdy, Jesus!
God.
I think with the advent
Yeah.
of coming from other planets and stars and stuff, I think the elites of the church have got a lot of problems on their hands now because, well, look at NASA paying the Pope and the papacy, what's it, $3 million to train some of their guys in how they deal with the public and explain that there are aliens and that they're different gods. If it's all complete bollocks like they've told us for the last 90 odd years and it's not real, then how come they're all coming out the woodwork saying, actually, yeah, it's real?
I think my problem with religion is my problem with religion, irrespective of the religion, is not the religion itself. It's, for me, it's like the paranormal. I don't have a problem with the paranormal, but I have a problem with people's interpretation of the paranormal.
Yeah.
And it's the same with religion. If you want to believe in God, and I believe in God, and if you want to believe in God, that's perfectly fine. You do that. But make sure that that's in your dominion, your domain, and don't impress it upon other people. And certainly don't be falling out with Dave up the road because he's of a different religion. It's
like being gay. I don't mind people being gay. Don't shove it down my throat.
Exactly. Exactly. But you know what I mean? It's like, you don't need to. If somebody's of a different religion to me, fine. Let them have their religion. I don't give monkeys. Do you know what I mean? Why do you need to hate Dave up the road or, I don't know, whatever Indian or Pakistani name is because they're of a different religion? It makes no sense.
Doesn't matter, does it?
No.
My big invisible sky god is better than your big invisible sky god.
Yeah. And the thing that annoys me, the thing that annoys me with like Christianity, Judaism, and Muslims, Muslim, with that lot, what's it called? Do you know what?
Muslim.
With those, the thing is, they're all Judeo-Christian religions, so they've all got the same freaking God, and yet they're all falling out with each other. And it's like, what are you lot doing?
Well, Muslim isn't even about a god; it's about a prophet. And it's like I was saying to you guys earlier on, and we were talking about it last night. There's now new stuff's come to light that the papacy knew all about Jesus, Muhammad, and this, that, and the other. And again, not my opinion; it's what's doing the rounds at the moment. They all said that these guys were hybrids, and that's why they could influence people like they did, and that's why a lot of these religions came about, because it was a way of explaining people from other planets and a way of controlling us, so we didn't have mass hysteria. If we have mass hysteria, we'd be down the boxes getting infected.
Yeah, I think those religions came about for control of the masses. That's all it was.
Exactly.
Just control.
Exactly.
They'd write things into this book or into the scrolls just to control the masses. And if you could do that, it meant you have power.
And look how easy it is, isn't it, to turn around and go, oh, them people over there, they don't like you because they like this God. So oh, they don't like you because they like this God. So what we want you to do is we want you to go over there and kill them because they don't kind of appreciate the same God as you.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's all this shit about?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's ridiculous.
So I'm going to ask Eric a question. Eric, have you ever slept walk?
I really thought you were going to ask me something like a horse.
I did once when I was a child.
And did people think you were possessed because you were doing that? Because did you do anything strange or something really funky or while you were sleepwalking?
Invented the flux capacitor.
Yeah.
What about you, Mark? Have you done any sleepwalking and been told you've done something really weird and wonderful?
There's a couple of times I've woken up on when I was like young teenager. I woke up on the floor with my legs at the door, and I have no idea I got there. And I've woken up a few years ago in my sleep. I was having a vivid dream, and I woke up as I was reaching out to somebody's neck, and I woke up and I stopped myself. But yeah.
What about you, Jay?
No, I've nothing like that
that you know of.
What I know of, no.
What about you, Dan?
Not that I know of, no.
Not that you can say on there anyway.
I knew this person. I can't mention her name, but you will know who I'm talking about, Dan. I know this person that was going through a very, very troubled time in her life, and she had a spate of sleepwalking. And she'd do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. But her family said they can't wake her up or disturb her because it's like she's possessed. And what she did this particular day, or evening, she went to bed as normal, felt fine.
I had that one. It's horrible, William.
Got up, started mumbling about something about curtains, knew where the curtains were in the room, ripped the pole down, got the curtains down, got knife,
Bloody hell.
started stabbing and shredding the curtains. Then she opened the windows in her sleep and threw them outside.
Oh, wow.
And then she went to the kitchen in her sleep looking for matches because she wanted to set them on fire. And it's that point she was guided to, because they heard the commotion, she was guided to very gently to going back to bed and calming down again. Now, would you say that was a form of possession, just mental health?
Just, well, sleep, I mean, your mental health. Because I roundhouse.
Is it mental health, though?
You know.
It's that thing that governs your body, like the sleep paralysis. I've had it, but everybody has it differently. When I had it, everything was sepia, and all I could move was my eyes, but I knew what it was, so it was all right. But other people experience night terrors. The priests used to think, because you got some of them have the weight on the chest, they used to think that was a demon on there. The young priests who woke up were like that in their sleep paralysis used to think they were being fondled by demons, and no, it wasn't. You just wake up with a stiffy, and all that sort of thing. My other half, she'll sit up, bolt upright in bed, and she'll have proper conversations with me.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
And
things like radishes in my left eye or some crap like that, and you're like, what? And she'll have a proper conversation with you, and then she'll go back to sleep again. And then when you talk to her about it the next day, she's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
In the past, those people would have been deemed as being possessed by the devil or something. And
Or how much of those actions that you're carrying out through sleep, how much of those are actions you could have carried out in another life?
They think it's you in the Onion verse, in the multiverse. They think it's
Or
you.
is it-
You're doing something else in your replica or your other.
Yeah,
Or is
they
it
think
your-
you're thinking somebody else, and you're just
Or-
doing what they're doing at that time in the other universe.
is it your subconscious mind that is unlocking these memories and things you're harboring onto here that you can't talk about? And when you're conscious, you don't know about, you've forgotten about them, you don't know about them. So in your subconscious mind, it's all coming out through this sleep pattern. Could it be that?
Could be that.
Could. I mean, like I said, I fought people in my dreams and end up waking up kicking the back of the couch with a roundhouse,
Yeah.
I know people when they get particularly stressed, they tend to have sleepwalk, don't they? I used to sleepwalk with a kid, Dr.
Rachel,
Blaine
does,
Meyer.
when she gets stressed, she does that a lot more.
I don't know what toe slices are. It's meant to be
Toe slices.
toe slices? I don't know. It's maybe something else, is it? Hi, Cliff.
By my toe
Right,
slices.
Cliff.
Hi, Cliff.
Hi, bud.
Toe slices.
So, should we have a subject for next week, guys?
Sure.
Who's picking?
Mark
Don't all
can.
rush at once.
Mark.
Mark can.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark it.
Thank you.
I'll dig in deep. Tell me when to stop.
Gringo. You get your fingers in that. Go on, go. Give that.
Oh. You might need some little joy gel.
Stop. You can stop now. Look at her. She's going.
Oh, tonsillitis, Cliff said.
Yeah.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Ghost. 1, 2, or 3.
1, 2, 3.
You waggled her ears at 3.
Oh, there you go. Then.
Okay.
That's as good. That's an answer if ever I've heard one.
Oh.
Newbies in the paranormal. There you go.
That'll be a good one.
Do you like that one, Dan?
Yeah, I like that one.
So, hands up who thinks possession is real. Nearly all
To
of
be
the
honest,
time.
I think I'm
One
out
out
on it. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I doubt
No, I
most,
wouldn't know.
I don't think most of it is.
It's just-
CT, isn't it?
What about
That's
Edgar
right.
Case? What about Edgar Case?
Who? What's that again?
Edgar Case.
Edward Case.
Is it Edward Case? What's his one? The one from the 1920s. Is it Edward Case? The one who used to get all these messages coming in, and he wrote books and he wrote papers and stuff.
Oh,
You know who I mean?
Oh, that was what's his name?
I've got the name wrong, haven't I? It is Case, isn't it?
Bald Ed.
That's
No,
Eric.
no.
No, he used to write. He wrote books, didn't he? From
Yeah, and he had somebody that would write everything down each time he went into
It was all
France.
messages from wherever.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah,
I don't know where. I can't remember his name.
Because he used to be in contact with what he said with his spirit guy, but it was some. He said it was somebody
It was
from
an
another
alien,
planet,
wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, I
Alien,
seen
wasn't it, or
him
something?
before.
Yeah.
That was that's what's his name from. Oh God, I've gone
One with
blank.
the bald head, young man
Yeah.
who keeps putting messages up here has actually got it in his photo, in his picture with the triangle.
Yes, him.
Oh, you know.
Edgar.
Yeah, and we've all got Edgar Case.
Edgar Case.
Edgar Case was the wizard, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the wizard, wasn't he?
What's his bloody name now? The thing is, I was talking about him the other day.
John Dee.
No, not John Dee.
That was
Elizabeth,
Queen
wasn't it?
Victoria. Queen Elizabeth.
We're looking at
Let me Google
the beast, the world's most whatever man, evil man he used to call himself or something, didn't he?
That's
Oh,
right,
that's
Edgar
him.
Case, yeah.
That's him. William Southey. The picture.
Yeah. I can't think of the name of the fella.
Oh God, right. I'm gonna find it. Just excuse me for a minute, please, guys.
Mark's googling it. Google.
Alistair Crowley.
Alison Crowley is the one that was in that picture that he's got.
Yeah, that's
with
Alistair Crowley. Yeah, in the triangle.
Where is he? Let's have a look.
Hang on.
Terribly sorry.
Did he used to communicate and talk in that language as well, or try and?
Sometimes, yeah. Crap over. What was his name? I put it in what I was looking for, and it came up with medium dressers. Have you got it? No. Alistair Crowley was the wizard guy.
Get messages from the ancient aliens and write them in a book. Oh, for God's sake!
Didn't Alistair Crowley?
Name of the guy who used to get messages from ancient aliens and then write them in a book.
I found this on the web.
No, that's from Daniken. No. Guy who used to communicate with aliens and then write messages down in books.
Oh God, what's his name? Who did the spirit of the
guy who got messages from ancient aliens?
Not Stan Romanek, is it?
No.
I found this on the web.
Ron Hubbard.
No.
Martin is like,
No, Spirit of the Church of Scientology, isn't it?
Man who was in
Yuri
communication with an alien.
Is it Stan
not Yuri Geller.
And he wrote books about him.
I
You
thought
are, Eric?
William said
Hey.
Yuri Geller.
Is it Stan Romnick?
No. As soon as I hear the name, I'll know it. Oh, what's it? And you guys in the chat room, who is it?
Right.
Stan Romnick.
How long
No,
ago
not
was
Yuri
this?
Geller.
Aliens sent him messages.
Yuri Geller.
ABC News. Yours Romnick claims his.
I'm sure it's Edgar Case. I'm absolutely sure
It
it
is
is.
Edgar Case. Elaine said it. Yeah, Annette said it. It is Edgar Case, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's try. Hang on. Edgar Case.
Who is he?
Edgar Case
It is.
was
It's
an
Edgar
American
Case, American clairvoyant.
a
Here
clairvoyant who
Here
claimed to
is
speak
lovely.
to from his higher self while in trance-like state.
Yeah.
His words were recorded by his friend
That's
Al
right.
Lane, his wife Gertrude Evans, and later by his secretary Gladys Davis Turner. During the sessions,
And-
Case would answer questions of a variety. So he's talking about his higher self.
Yeah. But he also said he used to talk to spirits. There you are. There's Alistair Crowley.
Yeah.
Alistair Crowley there. Yeah.
Alistair Crowley, once we did a session up. You remember I told you about that really nasty church on top of the forest where that was built on land that had been used by the Iceni for blood rights. Alistair Crowley came through on it in a spirit box session on that church once, and we all went, "No!" and turned it off and went,
"Yeah, don't want to deal with that, man."
No.
See you later.
Yeah, Edgar Case. His stuff is spookily accurate. And some of the times he did used to say he was talking to another entity from elsewhere, and it wasn't from this plane, from elsewhere. And his stuff is scarily accurate.
So there was a guy that also predicted, beginning with N, and I've forgotten his name now, the French one, Nostradamus.
Oh, yeah.
And he used to do his little predictions in quatrains, and it was all done in ancient French, and it was all about the translation and the understanding of what was being said.
Well, Hitler was his stuff, wasn't it?
Yes. So could we confuse with what Nostradamus is saying back then to fit what went on in today's day and age?
Oh yeah, we could.
Because he went on. He did predictions that went over 400 years, over a period of 400 years. So he did
most of them. Do you know most of them were wrong though.
Well, this is the thing.
I think what you say. I think that what you can do is you can make anything fit, can't you?
Fit, exactly.
That's how cold.
You know, I remember a physicist saying, they were talking about physics, and they were saying, well, how true is physics? He said, well, the thing with physics, this was a physicist. He said, if you've got an idea, you can create a sum to match your idea, so it bears out what you're thinking. So it's all about manipulation.
Yeah, and again, I'm saying this with people that say that
other ships, there's
some are good, some are not, some are really charlatans that got away with it for years. But this Nostradamus, I'm not saying he's a charlatan by no way, by any means. But what I'm saying is, we can take his books today. I've got an English version of it, and whoever translated that could twist it to make it fit. Do you see what I mean? So.
I saw that on the internet that they were saying that most of his predictions were completely wildly wrong. You know, you take him over, you take his predictions and through his books, that most of them were way off the mark. But
I got one thing for you about Alistair Crowley. Alistair Crowley claimed to have summoned a Loch Ness monster, didn't he?
He did.
He did.
That's all kicking off again, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, Nessie has been taken lately underwater of Nessie, but Alistair Crowley said he was summoning or getting rid of all the ills and everything in the world by doing them as demons and summoning them and then getting rid of them, and he got rid of all of them apart from like 3, wasn't it? And Nessie was one of them.
I've read some of these books, okay, and I've got this book.
Who's that one? I can't see. Sorry.
This one is the Holy Books of Thelema by Alistair Crowley.
Okay.
And I'm reading these, and I've got the Book of Lies, and I'm reading these, and I tried to do a bit of research, and I'm reading these, and they're the rants and the ravings of a madman, as far as I'm concerned. I'm reading this, and I'm trying to be open and have an open view. And yes, I don't understand a lot of the stuff, but as I'm looking at this and I'm reading this, it's all about power, it's about control, it's about money, and it's about telling people what to do. And this is what I'm deducing for this man. Now,
well, he did sex magic and everything, didn't he?
He used drugs on that with that. He didn't treat his wife. He didn't treat his wife, or I say wife, I use that term loosely. Very nice at all. In fact, he was an animal. He was disgraceful to her. No excuse for that. That's how it was in the day. I don't know, but I read these books and I've done a little bit of research on it. He even looks like a madman, like he's actually gone insane. You see some of the pictures, the photographs and things of him. It's like, really? And he fell out with some really powerful people. He took on the Masons.
That's right. That's one of the reasons why he started his own religion, wasn't it? His own
religion. Did he fall out? He fell out with the Golden Dawn, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I think he fell out with them, didn't he? And there was quite a few of them that weren't exactly best pleased with him.
But to be honest, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
He's always been a character that I've been nervous of.
I think he pissed off the Illuminati, if I remember rightly.
he did.
He might have,
He did.
He's always been a character that's made me a bit nervous. Apparently he
was very, very charismatic, wasn't he? And again, he had the power to persuade people, and he used to get so many followers and stuff until they realised just how messed up he was.
It's like the act of illusion. So people might call it magic. I would call that manipulation and using people to gain what it was that you wanted. You know. So
I think he claimed to be able to do real sorcery, didn't he?
Yeah, I think
I've had a few people say to me that are in the field of magic themselves, or in the field of whatever you want to call it. They're in that esoteric field. That he was a, I don't know because I didn't know much about the man, but he was a very, very adept and a very good magi. So he was a good magician, apparently. I don't know, but
is that why they were on drugs?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's drugs.
But I've been always a bit concerned not to deal with anything to do with Aleister Crowley because it's not a subject that I feel comfortable around.
He's not somebody you want to come through on a spirit box either.
No.
To be honest, it wouldn't bother me because I wouldn't let it bother me. It's like certain things, I don't understand it. I'll be the first one to say, I'll hold my hands up. I do not understand it. But
no, that was
my
Paul
impression,
Daniels, Andy.
That's good.
But my impression is he would use persuasion and manipulation and drugging people and scaring people and using this this artistry of, if you call it magic. I mean, there was another guy that used to do it who wrote the Satanic Bible. He would do exactly the same.
William would know a hell of a lot more about Crowley than we would imagine.
Oh yeah, definitely.
William would know.
Yeah.
William would know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
that's probably another subject.
We come away from possessions now.
Yeah.
Did we ever get to possession?
Yeah, we did.
I do believe in one possession though. Through history, I've seen a possession. Scared me. I was only very young when I saw it, and my dad went mental. But anyway, that's another thing. But the one I really do believe is of a young girl that was taken to a church.
Oh, there you go. See, I don't know anything about the man.
Yeah.
I'm
interesting subject, but I'm nervous.
But there is one that a young girl was. She fell ill.
The possession of Emily Rose.
Possessed. No, she went.
Was it the French girl?
She was taken to the church and she was kept tied down in a church.
That's right.
For something like 2 years, and she eventually died. Do you remember that one, Dan? It's a very old.
Michelle.
Rouge.
I remember seeing the pictures of her.
French girl possessed.
No, the French girl. She was before. It's going back hundreds and hundreds of years. It's a very famous.
There was one 19th century as well, either France or Germany, and they same thing, but they did. I think it was a 72-hour exorcism, and the girl died in it. But I've seen some. In fact, I think that's what the haunting of the possession of Emily Rose was based on. I've seen the photos of her.
Was it Nicole Aubrey?
I can't remember the name. The girl.
No, this was newer, wasn't it?
Apparently, they blamed the fact that she walked past a graveyard, and it was that at that point she became possessed.
Right. It was Michelle. Oh,
Rouge. Michelle of the Resistance.
Michelle, as you said, there's only one.
They did
I was
exorcism rites and prayed over her in the church for over 2 years. They opened the doors for pilgrims to come and pray for her. They saw her body levitate. She produced welts and all sorts of things, and she went
French
through.
woman possessed.
She was a witch then.
No, but don't forget, on all this time, while somebody's in that kind of state, whether it's real, whether they are
said
possessed,
French woman, it said dirty.
They're not eating. So she would have starved to death basically because unless they were force feeding her to keep her alive,
Yes.
and feeding her water, she would have died sooner. And that's what a lot
It
of
killed
things
the
happen.
exorcism, killed her, didn't it? It was the
Yeah.
Surely, if she was French, they wouldn't have got her in a church because they run backwards naturally. So she would have been outside. I'm sorry,
dear,
French
it's
people.
terrible.
Terribly sorry.
Yeah, but I've seen something with my own eyes that I was told was possession. It was on the streets of India, and I was about 11 years old. And I stopped to see what the kerfuffle was about. My dad yanked me away and said, "Do not go near that boy. Is possessed." No, it's an Indian culture thing. He was clearly fitting on the floor, convulsing. The whites of his eyes had rolled, so it's just whites of his eyes wide open, foaming of the mouth. And while people were screaming and shouting and trying to hold him down, there was about 8 or 9 men round him. He sat up, bolt upright, and as we walked past the crowd of people, he watched us like that. And I looked at him, and his eyes still remained white, but he saw. And it wasn't cataracts, he was too young. But yeah, that's what I saw. And it did frighten me. My dad made it worse, but there you go. My dad always did. Yeah. It's the same night the beheading.
That's
I
good.
saw the beheading. It's like, don't look, keep walking. You know, it's just like, yeah.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah Lee. That's a lovely name, isn't it, Sarah Lee?
That's a
She
cake,
made
isn't it?
cakes. Yeah, she made cakes.
Cake
Sarah
company.
Lee.
That's a nice name.
I
Yeah,
like
my
cakes.
missus gets possessed once a month as well.
Not mine, thank God.
Can't find the girl. Yeah,
I can't remember her name.
Annalise Michelle.
Is it?
She was.
There was the Annalise that was more recent.
Annalise Michelle was in the 1970s.
No, this is
She
earlier
was.
than that. That's earlier.
She was the one that died under, or one of them. Well, one of them is the one that I know that died under exorcism.
Hang on, let me find.
Is it a modern one, Viv, or is it an old one you're looking at?
It's an old one.
What? How old? Sort of hundreds.
About 100 year ago.
Is Parker going to the pub or walking the dog?
No, I'm outside. I can't go to the pub anyway.
That's one of the questions in the chat room.
Oh, is it?
That's from Nicola.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
You found it, Viv?
I'm going to look at it. It's come up with witch trials.
Do you remember the case of the German girl in the 60s who they said carried a poltergeist around with her? And when she'd walk down corridors, she'd make the lights swing and everything. And lights
something vaguely about that. Yeah. Something
they thought that was a
along
form
those
of,
lines.
yeah, they thought that was a form of possession, didn't they? And she used to get welts come up and scratches.
Yeah,
and,
I know.
Yeah.
I think I'm vaguely. What happened to her?
I think she lived a merry life. I think possibly she's still alive to this day.
May still be, yeah, quite feasibly.
Because it stopped when it stopped a few years later.
But Uri Geller can do that sort of thing. Doesn't mean he's possessed.
No.
He can. Oh, here we go. Oh no, that's That's witchcraft.
I can bend a spoon if you give me a second. To be fair, I've watched him a few times and I've watched him really close up when he does the spoon. And unless the thing's pre-cut and he's doing it, that he's got something, you know?
Yeah.
I'll have to get the book out and find her name, Dan, but I can't find it on the internet. It's a very, very old one. Very old one.
Well, like 1500s or something.
Something like that. It's like very old France, you know, with the old ornate dresses, that period.
French girl possessed exorcism. Nicole Aubrey? Nicole Aubrey?
No. I don't think
16
that's
years
her.
old.
She was young, very
Got
young.
Annalise Michel, which was the one I was looking at. Martha
No, not her.
Brossier. Martha Brossier was a French woman known for claiming demonic possession.
Hang on.
This
I'll
was a
just have
young
look.
girl.
Yeah, and she was at the age of 22.
No, she was younger.
Nicole Orby in 1566.
Could be her. Orby.
Yeah, ORBY, 1566. I'll send you this link. I got.
Yes, there's a town in France where all the nuns got possessed, isn't there? Do you remember that one?
Yeah, it was called an orgy.
And I think
Orgy.
that's where the I think they got the inspiration for Valak, you know, the conjuring and that possessed nun. I think that's where that comes from. Is this they shut the town because the nuns were possessed.
But the thing was back then,
That's in France.
a lot of people that joined the faith as a monk, as a nun, as a whatever, a lot of them back then were shoved into nunneries and were shoved, especially from like Southern Ireland. My lot from Southern Ireland, they were all shoved into there when they had mental health issues, and they were just expected to. The church would look after them, take control of them, and they had mental health, and they're Jesus possessed.
Yeah,
and it was mental health.
Yeah.
You know?
So
The French ones just went into the resistance.
Dan and I are back tomorrow night at 8:00, where we will be chewing the fat, so to speak, and talking about whatever topic of the day. I think on the 22nd we do have a guest, a very brilliant man, but we will tell you nearer the time.
Thank you.
In the meantime,
we need to be
In the
punting
meantime-
tickets soon for the big event for Crimbo.
well, yes, I'm just waiting for a confirmation to come through, and I do need to get a phone call made tomorrow, but they will go on sale this week, hopefully. So we're just waiting for yes, we can do that.
Do the people
And then
do
on
they know what it is?
Yes, Mark's
They
been
do.
touting for us, yeah.
Oh, good one, Mark.
The
And
Dark Mirror guy is going to be there.
Parker and I are going off on a jaunt on Saturday. If you want to come down, you're more than
Where you off
welcome.
to?
We're off to Bristol.
Bristol.
Sorry.
Very nice.
You watch
And-
out for any of those coppers out there, I tell you.
And
What
we
you
are
doing, boy?
we're going to a Bigfoot sort of gathering convention type thing. So it's
In
just
Bristol.
in Bristol of all
Very nice.
places. So we're just going to go there to be nosy. And if it's any good, we'll let people know.
What? Where is it? When is it? Saturday.
Saturday.
Big tart, isn't it?
So
What is
yes,
it exactly? Like an event or?
Yes, I've got my phone. It is an event. It's just some people that have written books over here in the UK. They're doing a talk and with their experiences, and we're just going to be milling around and just seeing what's what, really. So
Having
Very
been
nice.
a resident of the Southwest for 20 odd years, no longer, but I can promise you that a lot of the Bigfoot sightings in the early noughties was possibly me in the forest with me top off having a barbecue.
So we're just going to go and check it out, see if it's good. So if you fancy it down, let us know.
Being chased by a fake. Sorry, like a
They're
baby
gonna check it out.
It's Bristol, isn't it? You got a load of us with our t-shirts off, having a barbecue. You like we're men, we're in the woods. Oh, look, I can hear a copper. And then you got somebody dressed up as a copper with a blue light on their helmet. Going,
You might be right. My mum might be my sister,
That's
but
right.
she's also my cousin.
and you hear
But
this,
you know what?
hear the theme tune to the Benny Hill show.
If I see any coppers with a blue light going on in their helmet and talking bollocks, I'll just take my cat balls out and throw them at him.
yeah.
If it looks dodgy and they look at you and they because they're a little bit dodgy without people that are not locals, so you got to start singing. Oh, you got a brand new combi harvester, right? You need to
Now
go.
you do the keys.
we know some nice people from there as well. So
Oh, Bristol's lovely.
Oh, there are. I must admit, one person in particular, a while back, thought I was talking about them. Never mentioned that person's name, and they sent my co-host a very nasty message about me, telling Manly to shut up. And I was like, oh, why did he think you? I don't know why he thought I was talking about him. Don't know.
Mr.
I've got barred in Bristol.
You got a bargain?
Did you throw
I've got
catballs
barred.
at a couple?
I got barred from
in the
Bristol.
pub. I got pissed up in this pub, me and my mates, and I kept falling off of
Hi,
the street.
Andy.
And then and then the bloke said something to me, and I said to him, "Why don't you F off? I'll punch your face in." And then I found out the next day he was a chief petty officer.
Hi, Irene.
He owned the pub.
Oh,
So I got pulled over the coals for that.
that is funny. It's funny. But anyway, so we might just be travelling down there just to know.
I hear a dog in the background.
That's Dan.
That's Badger. He's probably asking to go out, but Badger is my other half daughter's dog and her bloke, and they're out there. So that's how he asked to go out. They'll be taking him out in a minute because Ghost is here. Hang on.
Where's your little baby?
Put your
Dan?
ass.
Well, one here is, I don't know what she's doing. The other one's gone to bed.
Takes herself off to bed.
She takes her off to bed.
Right, we're gonna wrap this up, and we will be back tomorrow. And not this Sunday, but it will be next Sunday. I do apologise. I was very ill on Sunday. I think I had food poisoning, but there you go.
There's a lot
No,
of
you
bugs going
didn't.
around. isn't
No,
there?
you didn't, Vivian.
I was cutting out both ends. Trust me.
Was it
It's the UK's eternal flame now.
I did get in trouble.
Was she doing the old alcohol again? Was she?
Oh, Irene, I'd love your cooking, honestly.
Oh, yes, please, Irene.
Oh,
Good night,
definitely.
Cliff. Have a good one, bud.
We have to hook
Right,
up.
mate. See you tomorrow.
I have caught a cold. I've been sneezing all day, and my throat is.
Viv had a cold when she had that sickness bug.
I just needed to be right next to the toilet. Seriously, that's all I can say. It was awful.
Well, lovely image that is to leave people with the evening.
My bottom became possessed, don't you know?
Sound like
that scene in Dumb and Dumber where he's had the X-Lax.
Yeah.
I still love those films.
Yeah.
Oh, God. You lot are terrible. So, The Dark Mirror's back on Monday. On Monday. And Lois has her shows. There's lots of shows going on the network on Slippery Spooky, and also on the Things Network as well. It's great shows on there too. So please support if you can.
And as I said, we have this thing coming up in Skegness. We'll be there. We'll be in our usual selves. Not going to hold back or anything.
They'll be there with bells on.
Well, yeah, they're part of my anatomy. Oh, bells, right?
Yeah, bells.
Should be a good night, and a good night was had all round.
Jingle balls.
And Dan's horrible Secret Santa will be making a comeback as well. Hopefully, he'll be there this time to administrate it.
Secret shit Santa.
I'm going to have to disappear if the dog's asking to go out now.
So we'll say good night, everyone.
Arrivederci.
See you later.
Right, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.